Krishnas Tvamalatmana Ahovakiyam Sthanakalakutam Jighansayayapatya satya sadhi Ahovakiyam Sthanakalakutam Jighansaya Tapya sadhi Lebe gatim dhatu chitam tatonyam Kamva dayalum sharanam bhajema Namah kamalna bhaya Namah kamal maline Namah kamal padaya Namaste kamale kshana Yo brahmanam vidadhati purvam Yo vaivedanscha prahinoti tasmai Taghun hadevam atma buddhi prakasham Mumukshurvai sharanamaham prapadye Bole Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. We're here to do Sadhana Bhakti. In Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran, once Videhanimi had the great fortune to meet 9 Yogeshwars. Kavi Hari Antariksh, Prabhupada Pipalayan, etc. And he asks many questions. On Bhakti, on Jivatma, on Guru, etc. Very important. 11th canto, 2nd chapter, onwards. To 9 Yogeshwars, 9 very important questions were asked, 9 of them answered in detail. About Bhakti, Prabhupada Maharaj, one of the 9 Yogeshwars, says to Videhanimi, Bhaktya sanjataya bhaktya vibhratyut pulakantanam 11th canto, 3rd chapter, 31st verse, Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran. Prabhupada Maharaj says to Videhanimi, one has to do bhakti to get bhakti. One bhakti we have to do, and one bhakti we're going to get through the grace of a Rasik saint. In actual fact, there are 10 classes of bhakti. 10. Sadhana bhakti, bhav bhakti, prema bhakti, sneh bhakti, man bhakti, rag bhakti, anurag bhakti, bhavesh bhakti, mahabhav. 10 classes. Out of these 10, the first two, sadhana bhakti, bhav bhakti, we have to do. The rest from prema bhakti onwards, I experienced in a state of perfection and put together they are called siddha bhakti, or perfect devotion. The first two we have to practice is called sadhana bhakti. So 2 categories. All the 10 can be divided in 2 categories. Sadhana bhakti, bhav bhakti, what we have to practice, जो हमें करना. The rest, prema bhakti, sneh bhakti, man bhakti, pranay bhakti, rag bhakti, anurag bhakti, bhavesh bhakti, mahabhav. 8. These are all, we will attain these, get these, to the grace of a Rasik saint, when the heart, the mind has become pure. That we don't practice. So the first two we have to do. Bhakti we can divide in 2 categories. Sadhana bhakti, that's what we have to do. And siddha bhakti, perfect devotion, we'll attain through the grace of a saint who has attained that divine bhakti himself, a Rasik saint. As I told you, someone can only give something he has. If he himself is a beggar, what can he give to another beggar? He have all the gyan, all the knowledge, all the Vedas in his head, but he has not attained that divine love, divine bliss of Radha Krishna. How can he give it to anyone? Himself is a beggar. So, we have to do sadhana bhakti. Why? We have to make a vessel, patra. To receive that divine bhakti, divine love of Radha Krishna, we have to make a vessel, patra. It is said, the milk of a lioness will stay only in a golden vessel. If you put that milk in any other vessel, it will burst. Fat jayega. That infinite divine love, think about it. To describe the love of Radharani, the scripture says, there's a fire, flame. Above the flame, there's a part, you see the black smoke. And above the smoke, you don't see, but if you put your hand, you'll feel the heat. It's called the abhav. The flame, then the smoke, then above that, you don't see, but if you put your hand, you'll feel the heat. It's called the abhav. If that were to come out from the heart of Radharani, the uncountable solar systems in the universe will be burnt to ashes. So we have to make a vessel that love from Radharani Shri Krishna, which a saint wants to give us, he has it. He has attained it. He wants to give it to us, but he can't. If this divine love is given to an undeserving soul, that person will be burnt to ashes. So, this is why we are doing sadhana, to make that path a vessel, to receive that divine love. Bhagwan Shri Ram is also saying to Sugriv, Niramal man jana so mohi pava, mohi kapat chhal chhidra na bhava. Only those who are pure in heart, pure mind, can know me, see me, attain me. I cannot tolerate deception, deceit, fraud. So through this sadhana bhakti, we are going to make that vessel, that path. A saint says, Rasik saint, I am given milk free. Free. Bring a vessel, a container, path. So we'll bring a container, a bucket, a vessel, but the underneath part is missing. What's going to happen? All the milk will fall out. The part, the vessel is our heart, the mind. Saint wants to give divine love to us, divine bliss, divine power. So first we have to fix the mind, the heart. And we do that by doing sadhana. Sadhana bhakti. There are many bhaktis. 9 bhakti, 10 bhakti, 24 bhakti, 36, as mentioned in Bhagavad Mahapuran, etc. Besides, there can be 100. Many types. Most famous is Navdha Bhakti, 9-fold devotion. Prahlad taught this to his father Hiranyakashipu. When Hiranyakashipu asks Prahlad what is the highest, what he considers to be the highest knowledge he attained from his guru, Prahlad replied and said, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Pada Sevanam, Archanam Bandhanam Dasyam, Sakhyam Atma Nivedanam. 7th Canto, 5th chapter, 23rd verse, Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. Worshipping of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna through this 9-fold devotion, Prahlad says, I consider to be the highest knowledge. There's nothing higher than this. 9-fold, briefly. Shravanam, listening. Listening to what? Gossip, worldly conversation, politics? No. Listen to divine philosophy as you're listening now. Is Shravan Bhakti. Kirtan Bhakti, Kirtanam, meaning chanting the divine name, the qualities, the pastimes, attributes, etc. of the Lord is called Kirtan Bhakti. We do that, we just did it. Smaran Bhakti. Smaran means to remember, to think, to visualize. Smaran. Thinking about the Lord lovingly, thinking about His virtues, the qualities, the form, pastimes, etc. Number 3. Number 4, Pad Sevanam. Pad means lotus feet. Worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord. 4. Number 5. Archanam. Worshipping an image of the Lord. In puja, worshipping an image of the Lord. Number 6. Bandhanam. Bowing reverently before Bhagavan, before God, the saint who is God personified. Number 7, Dasyam, realizing the natural relationship of the soul with Bhagavan. The soul, Jivatma by nature is a das, a servant of God. Jivera Swarupa hoy, Krishnera Nitya Das. The soul, Jivatma, is by nature an eternal servant, Nitya Das, eternal servant of Sri Krishna. Dasyam, Sakhyam, Sakha means friend. Making that relation, again, natural relation with Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna is the eternal, our only true and eternal friend of the soul, Jivatma. And number 9, Atmanivedanam. Reverently offering everything unto God. Surrender in everything. This is Navdha Bhakti. In the Bhagavad, Shaunakadik Paramhans asks Shunji Maharaj, this age is called a Kali Yuga. In the Kali Yuga, Alpa Ayu, Alpa Buddhi, everything is so lacking. The age is so small. In ancient times, in Treta Yuga, etc., people lived for millions of years. Millions. In Kali Yuga, we are told 100 years. Sometimes you live 60, plenty. Jai Ho Bhagavan. Alpa Ayu, Alpa Buddhi. The intellect is so weak. 2 minutes ago, you told someone, do this. You asked them, did you do that thing? No, I forgot. You sit in here listening to the lecture. When it's finished, your question, did you hear this? What is the answer for this question? Oh my God, I forgot. Our memory is very weak. Everything is lacking. The body is so weak. Sometimes we can't even bear to miss one meal. We hear about people, Rakshas. In the Satyug, he stood on one toe with hands upraised. On one toe, the big toe of his feet, one toe on the ground, the other foot around the other one, and hands upraised, without food, water, anything, for thousands and thousands of years. We can't stand him for 1 minute on one toe. That's why these things we cannot do in Kali Yuga, tapasya, austerities, etc., fasting, bhook. We get hungry, thirsty so quickly. We'll die. We feel like dying. This is the Kali Yuga. Can't do these things. Kali Yuga Jogana Jagya Jnana Ehi Kali Kalana Sadhana Duja Jogana Japa Tapa Brata Makha Puja. All these things can't do. So, tell us something simple that the souls can do in the Kali Yuga and attain everything. So he gave the answer that Shukadev Ji Maharaj, Shukadev Paramhans gave to Parikshit. He said, this is what Shukadev, the instruction, Shukadev Ji gave to Parikshit, Raja King Parikshit. Tasma Sarvatmana Rajan Haris Sarvata Sarvada Shrotavya Kirtavyascha Smartavya Bhagavan Nina. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 2nd Canto, 2nd chapter, 36th verse. Out of the 9, remember I told you, there's so many different kinds of bhakti. Most famous, 9-fold devotion, Naudha Bhakti. Out of those 9, 3 are most important. 3. Shukadev Ji is saying to Parikshit, do these 3. Shrotavya, listen to the divine philosophy, the glories of the Lord, the Katha. Listen carefully. Kirtavyascha, chant the divine name, etc. And number 3, Smartavya, lovingly remember the Lord, meditate on His divine form, etc. Qualities, pastimes. These 3. Gaurang Mahaprabhu said one thing more. He said, Maner Smaran Pran. Maner Smaran Pran. He says Smaran Bhakti. Smaran means remembering, thinking, visualizing. Smaran Bhakti is the life, pran, of all devotion. In other words, you can do all the bhakti 100 times, but if there's no smaran, it's like a dead body without life. This body we have, as long as the life is there, the pran, the life force in the body, we can do so much. We can speak, we can see, we can hear, we can eat, we can fight, we can quarrel, all kinds of things. But when the life force leaves, we say someone has died, everything is still there, eyes, nose, ears, mouth, tongue, skin, everything is there. But can we hear? Can we see? Can we smell? Can we eat? Can we taste? Can we touch? No. Because the thing which was given power to all of that has left. So without smaran bhakti, it's like a dead body, lash, a dead body without life, useless. All the jap, all the puja, all the havan, all the abhishek, if there is smaran bhakti, add smaran, fine, no problem. In the naudha, in the 100, whatever you want to do. As long as smaran is there, then it's fine. But if you take out smaran and you do all of them, then it's 0. The life is gone. And you do only smaran, you have done all. The scripture says, Manas puja is the highest puja. Highest. Look. You're doing puja. And you want to put a beautiful necklace. A beautiful necklace with the best gems you can think about. You want to put it on for Sri Krishna, for Radharani. And supposing you don't have money, you feel very badly, that you want to put this beautiful necklace, but you can't afford it. But in the Manas Puja, in your mind, Sri Krishna is there, Radharani, and get the best gem that you can think about. Are better than what you can think from Golok. These gems, this necklace with divine gems is coming. I take it in my hand. I put it out for Sri Krishna, for Radharani. You have done it. It didn't cost you 1 cent. Bhagwan has taken note that you gave a beautiful necklace to him. And let's suppose that even if you can afford something very expensive, and you put it, but the mind was not there, you just did it for show or something, Bhagwan will, as we mentioned in the Bhog, if it's not given with love, with bhakti, with devotion, Bhagwan is not going to accept. It can be the best thing in the world. Only when it's given with love, he's going to accept it. So Manas Puja is the highest and the easiest. We can sit anywhere and do bhakti. You don't have to have murti, you don't have to have picture, anything. In the worst place, anywhere. Can I do bhakti in the toilet? In the smashan ghat? In the burial ground? In the cremation ground? Anywhere. There is no place, one, that God is not there. Two, we cannot make God dirty. There's a mantra in Karmakan. There's something called Karmakan, rites and rituals, puja. Somebody decides to do on a special occasion. Somebody is getting married or some special occasion. You call the Panditji, you want to do a puja. So the very first mantra in that puja, any puja, Panditji gives you some water in the hand. Then he tells you take it and sprinkle it. The mantra is Apavitra pavitro va sarvasthangato piva Yasmaret pundari kaksha sabhaya bhyantara suchi. Parma Puran. It's not Ved mantra, Parma Puran. Very few people know what it means, and if they know, nobody even thinks about it. Just take water and throw all over the place and say it. What does the mantra say? It's the very first mantra. Apavitra pavitro va. Whether that place is pure or whether the person is pure or impure. Meaning whether you took a bath or you didn't bathe for months. Or you in that time of the month as a lady. Whether you're pure or impure. Pavitra means impure. Pavitra, pure. Sarvasthangato piva, wherever you are. In the toilet, in the ramsha, in the road, in the mandir, in the burial ground, wherever you are. Dirtiest place, the best place, doesn't matter. Yasmaret pundari kaksha. Smaret, the moment you think about who's Pundari Kaksha, Sri Krishna. The moment one thinks about Sri Krishna, remember Sri Krishna, remember Smaret. What happens? That person becomes pure on the inside as well as outside. Now tell me where else you have to make pure? Is there a third place to make pure? Just remember Sri Krishna and you become pure. Why all the end result of all puja, all type of devotion, worship, havan, you name it, the end result is to make the heart, the mind pure. And here, the very first mantra in the Karma Kand say, just the moment someone thinks about Sri Krishna, remember Sri Krishna, they have become pure. Jai Ho. Remembering, that's why Gaurang Mahaprabhu is saying, this is the life, Pran. And that's why this morning I was telling you, we have to focus the mind. We do a lot of things when it comes to bhakti, to worship, spiritual activity, puja, havan, abhishek, jap, chanting the name, chanting bhajan, bowing to anyone we think is a worshipable person. Whether they're worshipful or not, we just bow. Visited place of pilgrimage, all kind of things. But where the mind is at that time, nobody pays attention. Somebody is going to do Govardhan Parikrama. There's something called Parikrama. People leave from all over the world and they go to Vrindavan. There's a mountain called Govardhan Parvat. A little more than 5,000 years ago, when Bhagwan Sri Krishna descended in the world, he performed the divine Leela called Govardhan. He himself became Govardhan. The gopis, the cowherds, etc., the cow once, little Krishna, he was small, together with Balram. They were walking in Vrindavan and they saw Nanda Baba and all the elders very busy, collecting wood, samagri, etc. So Kanhaiya asks Nanda Baba, Baba, why are you people doing all this? All these people so busy? So Nanda Baba said, Beta, we are going to worship Indra. Shri Krishna said, who? Why? So Nanda Baba said, Indra is the king of heaven, he is the god of rain. When we worship Indra, if he is pleased, we will get rain. And the grass will grow, the cows will get the green grass, will get good milk, etc. There was a long, Sri Krishna then replied and said to Nanda Baba, his father, what does Indra have to do with what happens to the Jivatma, the individual soul? Everything we acquire in this world is as a result of actions we have performed in the past life. Good and bad. And the giver of that is God. What does Indra have to do with that? Long lecture he gave to Nanda Baba and all the elders. And it was so logical that they all said, okay, this sounds good. So what to do, beta? Let's worship Govardhan instead. And the cows. So, all the gopis and all the cowherds, they filled their bullock carts, etc. with all the best things, basket full. And they brought it before Govardhan. The worship of Govardhan was done. And Govardhan took a peculiar form. Shri Krishna himself became Govardhan. Why do we do Govardhan Puja? We are not worshipping a mountain. Why do we do Parikrama around Govardhan? Not a mountain. Because Shri Krishna himself became Govardhan. And he ate everything. Everything the gopis and the cowherds brought, he ate everything. Then they did Parikrama. When we keep an object of worship to our right hand side and we go around in a clockwise direction, that is called Parikrama. That's where the Parikrama started. So every year people go from all over the world to do parikrama. Now someone is planning to go and do parikrama. He's thinking, oh, what a great blessing. He's made all the arrangement. He reaches Vrindavan, Govardhan mountain to do parikrama. Now when he's there and is about to do parikrama, go around in a reverent way, in a worshipful way, in a clockwise direction around Govardhan, he starts thinking in the mind, I wonder how my wife is doing. I wonder how the children are. I hope nobody is broken into my shop. I hope the children fed the dog. In other words, his mind is in the world. And he's doing parikrama, exercise, quick march around Govardhan. Before he left to go to Govardhan to do parikrama, it was much better because he was thinking about Govardhan. Now he is in the Govardhan. What happened? He's thinking about the world. Not going to get anything. Actually, he's going to end up losing. Why? After he's done parikrama, he's going to come back in the world and he's going to go to someone, Swamiji, yes, have you done parikrama? Did you go to Govardhan? No. I went. Every year I go and I do Govardhan and people do this and they do that and I do this. And Abhiman has come. Ego. Instead of benefiting, he end up losing. People boast. Oh, I've been to Charo Dham, I have been to the four Dham, I've done this, I have done. Bhakti is to boast. When we do devotion, you're supposed to keep it a secret, not boast. When you start boasting, what happens? You lose it. Abhiman comes. And one thing God cannot tolerate is the thing called ego, Abhiman. So the mind is the most important thing. Look. I'm not saying don't do Govardhan Parikrama. But is there a special Bhagwan in Govardhan and a little Bhagwan here in the mandir? Is it that Bhagwan is bigger in some place and smaller in some place? No. Bhagwan is the same everywhere. 100%. The scriptures are saying, Prabhu Vyapak Sarvatra Samana Premati Pragat Hoi Mai Jana. God pervades everywhere equally, Samana. It's not that there's some special Bhagwan somewhere in a high mountain somewhere that you're going to fall and die, and then somebody has a small mandir, a little Kanhaiya, and that is a small Bhagwan. No, same Bhagwan is everywhere. Whether it's a murti, you have a murti or not, he's in every particle of the universe, 100%. He's sitting in our heart. Kahe bande, kahe dhoonde bande. Hey, why are you searching, looking for Bhagwan? He's sitting in the heart. Are Bhagwan says, Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrideshe junatisthati brahmaya sarva bhutani yanta rudhani mayaya. Chapter 18 verse 61 Gita. Shri Krishna says to Arjuna, the Supreme Lord is sitting in the heart of every living being. The Vedas say, there's an example in the Vedas, that somebody who has forgotten that God is sitting in the heart, and he's going in the mountain, in the cave, in the forest, and high mountain looking for Bhagwan, is like somebody who has a laddu. You know laddu? A nice Indian sweet in the hand, and he's licking the elbow. He's licking the elbow and the laddu is here. God is here. Bring him out. How to bring him out? Pray, love. The sadhana bhakti, through prayer, through love, nothing else, only bhakti, love, pray. So many places. Ram hi keval prema pyara. God only cares about how much love we have. Mila hi na raghupati binu anuraga. Kiye jog jap gyan viraga. You can do jog, jap, gyan, virag, whatever you want. But if there's no anurag, no love, there's nothing, not going to get anything. Love, do it. Our prem, our love. This is the most important thing. So, sadhana bhakti. The most important thing in bhakti is the mind. The mind has to do bhakti, not the sense organs. Why? Because as I told you, the mind is the performer of the action. Mind. Shri Krishna didn't ask Arjun for his action. He said to Arjun, give me your mind, give me your intellect. Mayeva mana adhasva, mai buddhim niveshaya. Chapter 12, verse 8, Gita. Arjun, give your mind and intellect to me. He didn't say, give me your sense organs. Give your mind and intellect alone. In other words, what I'm telling you, accept 100%. That is what surrender means. To surrender the mind, the intellect. Don't apply the mind and intellect when it comes to God. When it comes to the true saint, the true guru, when it comes to the scriptures. We have to surrender the mind, the intellect. So the mind is most important because the mind is the performer. Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho Brahma Bindu Upanishad, second mantra. This mantra also comes in Narad Puran, Narad Pancharatra, many places, many other Upanishads also. The mind. Bhakti is to be done with the mind. The sense organs are there, use them. They are helpers. Use the hand to clap. Use the ears to listen to the divine glories of the Lord. Use the eyes to look at the beautiful murti, etc. Use the nose for smelling the divine flowers offered and the sense, the divine perfume offered to the Lord. Use the tongue to taste the divine prasad offered to Bhagwan, to chant His divine name. The scriptures, the Bhagavad says, the tongue that is not used for chanting the name of God is like the tongue of a frog. In the rainy season, tarak, tarak, tarak. Just like the tongue of a frog. It is a tongue only when we utilize it for chanting the divine name, glories, etc. of Bhagavan. So these are helpers, use them. But don't forget the mind. Most important, the mind. So, we have to train this mind. The whole Gita, if we look carefully, the essence of the Gita, Shri Krishna is telling Arjuna how to train this mind, to focus this mind. Arjuna said, the mind is so crazy. Chanchal. Chanchalam madha Krishna pramati balavadidham tasyam nikaham manye vayu rivasu dushkaram. Chapter 6, verse 34. In chapter 6, Sri Krishna is telling Arjuna about controlling the mind, focusing the mind, meditating on God, to find a place of seclusion, ekaki. To do sadhana, how to sit, etc. It's all there, written. in Gita. And Arjuna said to Sri Krishna, how to do this? Krishna, this mind is so turbulent, strong, unyielding. It's more difficult to control the mind than it is to control the will. You know how chantal our mind is? Tulsidas tells us in the Ramayana, he says, a monkey by nature is very gentle, wayward. It's always jumping, can't sit quiet for a moment. Now supposing someone gives that monkey alcohol to drink, sharab, the condition of the monkey worsens. Then a bichu, a scorpion, stings the monkey. The condition worsens even more. And then on top of that, a bhoot, a pret, a ghost comes in that monkey. The condition gets even more bad. Tulsidas says, our mind is worse than a monkey in that condition. It's very wayward. So this sadhana, bhakti, is to focus the mind, to bring the mind over. I remember I told you this morning, we are supposed to be the master of the mind. Indriyabhya parahirta arte vyasha paramana manasastu parabuddhir yo buddhi paritastu saha mahata param avyaktam avyaktar purusha para purushana param kinchit sakashtha saparagati. Kathopanishad, the Vedas say, Bhagavan, God, Sri Krishna, he governs Maya. Maya governs the individual soul. The individual soul governs the intellect. The intellect governs the mind. The mind governs the sense objects. The sense objects governs the senses. So the soul is the master of the mind and intellect. It governs the mind and intellect. It is supposed to be. But instead, our mind and intellect has become our master. Swamiji said to come 6 o'clock this morning. The mind said, no, sleep a little more. I'll go later. I'll go. I'll tell him something. But I want to sleep a little more. We listen to the mind. We have become slave to the mind. We have the one who becomes the master of the mind, he's called a Goswami. In other words, saint. So we have to become the master of this mind. This is why we are going to practice sadhana. Now, one of the first things in sadhana, bhakti, when doing sadhana, we have to be alone. In the Gita, Sri Krishna says, ekaki. Means in seclusion. The Vedas say, Virvikta sevi lagu bhavi. A lamp in a windless place, flicker it not. A lamp in a windless place, flicker it not. If you have a lamp and all the windows are open and the wind, what will happen? It will blow away. It will start flickering. But if you close the window, the winds are not allowed to come in, it will remain straight, it will glow properly. In the same way, our mind, it is very wayward, as I mentioned. So this isolation, this solitude, it doesn't mean you have to go in a mountain cave or some deep forest. No, in your own home, some room, some place you can be alone. When you're going to do sadhana, it is important to be alone. This will help to keep this wayward mind from running away, from becoming more wayward. So when we do sadhana, first thing, solitude, seclusion. Now, so you're alone in a room in your home itself. You create an atmosphere, you can create an altar. Try to find a very beautiful picture of Radha Krishna. Put some nice lights, flowers, etc. You can light some nice incense, agarbatti. Create a nice atmosphere. And lock the door. Lock the door. You live in a home, you're a householder, there are children, other people in the home. You're sitting to do dhyan, you're sitting to do sadhana, and suddenly a child comes in the room and hug you, Mummy, Papa, and you forget the sadhana. This amount of time, 1 hour, 2 hours, you're going to do sadhana. Everybody, this is my personal time. Lock the door. Now that you're in there alone, there's some rules we have to follow. I mentioned this morning. There are 3 Brahma Sutra, Vedanta Sutra. Number 1, Asina Sambhavat. When doing sadhana, practicing devotion to God, the best position is to sit with the legs crossed, palti marke, like this, like how I'm sitting here. You don't have to do full lotus, just like this. This is the best position. The Vedas, the scriptures say, this is the best position for doing, even in Gita also, for doing sadhana. If you're lying down, as I said, you'll get too comfortable, you'll fall asleep. You're standing, you'll become tired. You may be sitting in a chair, you get too comfortable, your mind will go away, you might fall asleep, etc. So this has been called the best position. Asina Sambhavat. Second mantra, Achalatvacha Peksham. Become alert. Be alert, keep the back straight, especially in the beginning. Later on, as you advance, you don't have to worry too much. But in the beginning, it's important to keep the back straight. To be alert. You don't want, the mind is already very, very chanchal, wayward, very fickle. Any slackness in posture will cause the fickle mind to wander away. So we have to be alert. And number 3, Dhyanacha. Meditate on the form. Do Rup Dhyan. So this, on the qualities, the pastimes, the attributes. Remember God. Remember Shri Krishna, His virtues, the pastimes, etc. So this 3 mantra is given for doing sadhana bhakti. Along with this, we should chant the divine name, bhajans, etc. of God. Use bhajans and kirtans written by saints only. Saint mean those who have attained the divine love for God. They have attained God realization. Do not use the bhajans and kirtan written by worldly people, the filmy one. Why? It has God's name? It has God's name. But there are several reasons. First reason, when a saint is writing, remember I told you one night, just like when a person becomes possessed in the world by ghost or spirit, that he is no longer responsible for his action. Whatever he's doing, that ghost or spirit is doing through him. In the same way, when someone completely surrenders to God, the supreme ghost, Sri Krishna, takes possession of that soul. From that moment onward, whatever the soul is doing, Sri Krishna is doing. Jo kare so hari kare. So when a saint is writing, he's not a saint. This is Bhagwan himself is writing through the pen of the saint. So it is divine. Any bhajan written by any saint, Tulsidas, Surdas, Meera, Tukaran, Nanak, Jagar Gautam, Kripalu, Mahaprabhu, any saint. This is divine. So it has divine power. The second thing, when a worldly soul is righted, we people, one, we are under the control of Maya. Our intellect is material, our mind, everything is material. We are going to write material things. We're going to put material things in that bhajan, that kirtan. Asking for material things in the world. So the philosophy is going to be wrong, number one. Number two, we are governed by Maya, so there's no Shakti power. And because the philosophy is wrong, one, there's no power, and secondly, the philosophy is wrong. Instead of getting benefit, we'll end up getting harm. So that's why it is recommended that we chant only the bhajans and kirtan written by saints. Any saint you want. But God realized, divine saint. And chant loudly. Choose 10, 20. Chant loudly. Nama Leela Gunadina Muchair Bhasha Tu Kirtanam. Bhakti Samad Sindhu. Rup Goswami says in the Bhakti Samad Sindhu, the name, the qualities, the pastimes, the attributes, abodes, etc. of Sri Radha Krishna sang in a loud voice, Uchair Bhasha, is called Kirtan. Later on I will explain the benefits of loud chanting. Gaurang Mahaprabhu said, not only does a person who is chanting when we chant loudly benefit, but all others to the point, birds, bees, trees also benefit. This has been proven scientifically. Pashu Pakhi Kita Adi Bolite Na Paye Sunile Harinam Tare Shabatare. Chaitanya Charitamrita. So loud chanting. Along with this, we have to shed tears. Shedding tears is extremely important when we do bhakti. I told you, the heart, the mind is dirty. This morning we listened to a short lecture by Jagat Gurutam Kripalu Mahaprabhu, telling us the condition of the mind. The more attachment we have for God, for the saint, for wanting to love and worship God and the saint, the more purity is in the heart, the mind. The more we don't have attachment, the more we want the world and love the world, love to sleep, etc., the more dirty the heart, the mind is. Nobody has to tell us, we can know for ourselves. Bhajan and Kirtan is going on, lecture, somebody is all the way somewhere else, let them talk. It means there is no attraction. Kripalu Mahaprabhu said, God and the saint is like a magnet. Chumbak, magnet. A magnet attracts pure iron. But when there's mixture in the iron, the more mixture there is in the iron, the more difficult it is for the magnet to attract it. And if there's no iron content, that magnet will never attract that metal, no matter how close you place it. Aluminum, etc. There's no iron content. Our heart, our mind is the loha, the iron. And God and the saint as a chumbak, magnet. When there is purity in the heart and the mind, we get easily attracted to God and the saint. We want to be all the time. We will forget everything. People think these people are crazy, who only want to chant Radhe Radhe, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, only want to be in the satsang. Because that's where you get joy, happiness. The true happiness. It means there is purity in the heart, in the mind. And the more dirtiness in there, the more dirty the heart is, the more dirty the mind, the less we want to be there. We can't take, there are people who can't even be in the company of divine souls. They get uneasy. They get irritated because the heart, the mind is too dirty. We heard it this morning, those of us who are here. So how to make the heart, the mind pure? One thing only. One thing, when we shed tears of selfless love. Tears. It's a long topic. I'll just tell you a little bit. The rest will continue in the next session. Bhagavan Krishna says to Uddhav, Yathagni mamalam jahati dhamatam punah svam bhajate charupam atma cha karma nushayam vidhuya madbhakti yogena bhajatya thoma. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 11th canto, 14th chapter, 25th verse. Gold, in its original form, has a lot of dirt and impurities. Or after a while, gold gets dirty, impurities. How is it purified? How is the impurity taken out? It is heated in fire. Shri Krishna says to Arjuna, Uddhav, just as when gold is heated in fire, Hem means gold. Hem. Just as gold, when heated in fire, becomes purified of its dirt, impurities, glows and attains its pure form. In the same way, only when we shed tears of selfless love for God and the saint who is God personified, is the heart, the mind purified. Nothing else works, nothing, no puja, no chanting, no havan, except shedding tears of selfless love. To make the point stronger, Shri Krishna again says, immediately, the next verse he says, Yatha yathatma parimirjate sau mat punya gatha shravana bhidhanai tatha tatha pashyati vastu sukshmam chakshur yathaivanjana samprayuktam. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 11th canto, 14th chapter, 26th verse. 25th before 26. Just as we have disease, sickness in the eyes today, cataract, so many diseases. And we have all kinds of medicine, cream, drops, laser, all kinds of things. Now in ancient times, people also had disease in the eyes, all the diseases, but there was no these creams and all these drops and laser and all these things wasn't there. They didn't have all of those medicine? Yeah. But they had a wonderful medicine, even more wonderful. It was called Anjan. Anjan is an Ayurvedic medicine. It doesn't exist anymore right now in the Kali Yuga. It will come back again. People say Kajal, but Kajal and Anjan is two different things. Kajal is decoration. Anjan is an Ayurvedic medicine. Any disease in the eye, and you apply that Anjan, slowly it will destroy the disease and you will see clearly again. Shri Krishna says to Uddhav, just as when Anjan is applied to the diseased eyes, and it destroys the disease, slowly destroys the disease, and we're able to see clearly again in the same way, while listening to the divine glories of the Lord, His kathas, chanting the divine name, etc., we shed tears of selfless love for the Lord. The heart, the mind is purified. This is the only medicine, one medicine, for making the heart, the mind pure, the condition for knowing God, attaining God. But we cannot use it in the world. So people say, well, Shri Krishna say, I cry plenty. I cry a lot. There are ladies, they cry all the time. No matter any little thing, they will cry. Somebody has gone in a funeral, and some ladies cry, and This person, this other lady doesn't know the family so well. She starts crying, you ask her, why are you crying? The lady is crying, so I'm helping her. We cry for nothing. So is that going to make the heart, the mind pure? No. Look, our heart, our mind is like a dirty cloth, dirty rag that has been dirty for a long time. Grime, dirt, hundreds of years. To make that cloth pure, to clean it, we need pure water. Nirmal pani. If you take the cloth, that rag, and wash it in clean water, some of the dirt will come out. You keep washing it, will eventually get clean. But if you take that cloth and wash it in some clean water and then dip it back in a bucket of mud water, grime, what happens? It gets more dirty. So our mind is like a dirty piece of cloth. The pure water, Nirmala Pani, God and the saint, one who's attained God, who is God personified. When we shed tears for God and the saint, that purifies the heart, the mind. When we shed tears for the world, for mommy, for papa, for daughter, for son, for this one, for that one, for dog. Some people cry for their dog, some cry for... We are only making the heart, the mind more dirty. These tears that Bhagwan has given to us is very valuable. Do not waste it in the world. It is to be used only for bhakti, for God. Because that's the only thing which is going to make the heart and mind pure. That's why tears are so important in bhakti. That's why Gaurang Mahaprabhu is saying, Nayanam galadashru dharaya badanam gadagadarudhaya gira pulakai nichitam bahu gada tavana maghane bhavishyati. Shikshastra. When we was chanting that beautiful bhajan this morning, written by Jagat Gurutam Kripalu Mahaprabhu, Oho din kab aaye hai aho hari. This is exactly what Gaurang Mahaprabhu is saying. Hey Krishna, when will the day come that while taking your name, I am chanting Maha Mantra, I am chanting the name, but this is not happening. Nayanam galadashudharaya. The tears are not flowing like a river from my eye. The heart is not filled with joy. The pores in the body is not raised on ends, goosebump. The throat is not choked with emotion, gad. Then we do bhakti. That's why Gaurang Mahaprabhu is saying, hey Krishna, when will the day come that this will happen to me? It will happen if we practice. If we get the right instruction and we practice, and we forget all our laziness, and we go against the mind, it will happen. Don't listen to the mind. We have to go. This mind has been the reason for our being rotating in 8.4 million forms of life from beginningless time. We have to listen only to the saint. Our only well-wisher, the saint. Accept what he's saying, listen to what he's saying, and put it into practice. All this is going to happen. There's much more. We'll continue this in the next discourse. Bole Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki, Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki, Radha Rani ki, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.